Hey, I'm Steven and this is Solving the Money Problem. If you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about Tesla in 2031, 10 years time. I'll be sharing my predictions for total vehicle sales, total revenue, total profit, and of course, what I think Tesla stock will be worth in 10 years time. I'm going to try to keep this video as short as possible. I've noticed a few of you guys and girls crying in the comments that these videos are now lasting longer than you do in bed. So I'm going to try and keep things as succinct as possible and just do a very high level overview, some ballpark numbers of where I see Tesla headed over the next decade. So with that said, let's get into the video. If you love crypto, stocks, and free stuff, or just want to help out the channel, check out these great offers. BlockFi are launching the world's first Bitcoin rewards credit card. People in the US can earn 1.5% Bitcoin back on every purchase with no annual fee using the BlockFi Bitcoin Rewards credit card. Check out the link in the description. And for a limited time, you can get up to $250 in crypto bonuses when funding a new account on BlockFi, where you can use cryptocurrency to earn interest, borrow cash, and buy or sell crypto. If you want your free crypto, use the link in the description. And if you'd like up to 2 free stocks, check out the link in the description to WeBull. If you open a new account, you'll get 1 free stock valued up to $300 just for opening an account. And if you make an initial deposit of $5 or more, you'll get a second free stock valued up to $2,000. Seriously. Free stocks? Yes, please. And finally, if you're in Australia, the UK, or New Zealand, you can get a free stock with stake, also linked in the description. Thanks so much for your support, guys. Let's get back to it. So, fair warning, there's going to be a lot of numbers in today's video, but that's kind of the point. If you own Tesla stock or even are considering investing in Tesla, you have to be an absolute fucking moron not to be willing to take the time to do the numbers yourself. And this is the idea. I'm not telling you guys what you should think today. I'm telling you how to think about this, how to value the company. So use your own numbers, plug in your own scenarios, and try to come to your own conclusions. I'm just trying to illustrate how I like to think about this company and how I like to project into the future. So let's start with the most obvious. Automotive sales. So here we are looking at my Tesla projections running out to 2031. This is production. You guys can pause the video if you want to ascertain exactly what's going on here. Like I said, I'm going to try and keep this one fairly short and sweet. So if you really want to take the time, you can see the rate of factory production, how quickly they're ramping, etc. Long story short, Tesla reaching their goal of around 20 million vehicles per year in about 10 years time. This is what they're aiming for. So this is assuming that Tesla can actually achieve their goal on time. Of course, I am going to share a base case and a bear case scenario as well, but we're going to run through the bull case scenario first. Then towards the end, we're just going to shave these down for a base case and a bear case rather than doing the numbers 3 times over for every single scenario. So with that said, I also just want to give you guys an insight. In addition to getting to 20 million vehicles per year, I'm actually going to show you the total fleet size of Tesla, because keep in mind, if Tesla's selling 20 million vehicles in 2031, and they're selling close to 20 million the year before, and 10 plus million in the middle of the decade, Tesla's fleet is actually going to grow to well over 100 million vehicles in total. Best estimate based on these numbers is a vehicle fleet size of about 115 million Teslas in total. So we're going to come back to this number later. Now, let's look at automotive sales in terms of total revenue. So I'm going to round down to 20 million vehicles total, even though my own projections suggest a little bit above that. Now, the main question is, what will be the average selling price of a Tesla vehicle in 2031? And this is worth thinking about. Today, average selling price a little over $40,000. And this is before Tesla introduces a $25,000 vehicle. Obviously, if there's a $25,000 vehicle, the average selling price by default has to be higher than that, because that's the absolute minimum price you can buy a Tesla for. They're still selling vehicles for $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, etc. I personally believe that in the second half of this decade, after the $25,000 Tesla is released, there's going to be another generation Tesla about 25% cheaper for around $18,000. And this is the vehicle that completely destroys the ICE industry. Not just disrupts, but destroys, completely ends the ICE age. Of course, Tesla's also going to be selling commercial vehicles. There'll be a van, there'll be the semi, all sorts of other stuff. So my best estimate in this particular scenario is that the average selling price of a Tesla vehicle in 10 years time is actually going to be close to $25,000. Now, of course, people may argue it might be higher, possibly lower as well, but I believe $25,000 is a realistic yet conservative estimate. This is factoring in enormous numbers of sales of an $18,000 vehicle, high sales of a $25,000 vehicle, and very small sales of vehicles in the $40, $50, $60 plus $1,000 range as well. So if we look at 20 million vehicles sold per year times $25,000 average selling price, we look at revenue of $500 billion from automotive sales at the end of this decade. But I don't really care about revenue. What I care about is profit. Now, I personally believe that at this point in time, Tesla is going to have margins on their vehicles alone of around 30%, But in the interest of being a little bit conservative, I'm actually going to shave that down to 25%. So very simple math here, we just take 25% of that figure there, and we're looking at $125 billion of profit just on automotive sales in 2031. Now, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, just to fact check to make sure this is a realistic scenario, given that we know that Tesla is aiming to get to up to 3 terawatt hours of battery production around the end of this decade. Let's have a look at what this might mean in terms of 20 million vehicles sold. So 20 million vehicles in total. Let's say a 50 kilowatt hour battery pack, it may actually be less than this. I won't be surprised if the average battery pack size in a Tesla sold in 2031 is actually closer to, let's say, 40 kilowatt hours. But let's go with the assumption of a 50 kilowatt hour battery pack just to be a little bit conservative. So all we've got to do is times 20 million by 50 kilowatt hours, and we get to 1 terawatt hour of batteries just required for 20 million vehicles sold at the end of this decade. And that segues nicely into the next part of Tesla's business: energy. So you guys have probably heard Elon Musk repeatedly state that he believes over the long term, let's say a decade plus, that Tesla Energy will become as big as their automotive business. We heard on Tesla's Q2 2021 earnings call that there is demand for Tesla Powerwalls in excess of 1 million units per year today. Let's add about a 50 or so % growth rate to this to see what the potential demand could be in 2031. So today, demand for in excess of 1 million Powerwalls per year, but hey, we're just going to use a nice round number for 1 million. Let's assume a growth rate of, let's say, 55% per annum over the next 10 years to see what could demand for Powerwall be in 10 years' time. 1 year, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're looking at perhaps 80 million Powerwalls per year in 2031. Of course, this is composed of Powerwall and Megapack for utilities and commercial customers, but again, let's just keep the numbers nice and simple and call this 80 million units worth of Powerwall demand. However, this is actually broken down. Today, Tesla's Powerwalls have capacity of 13.5 kilowatt hours of energy storage. So let's work out what is 80 million times 13.5 kilowatt hours. This will let us know if we're on the right track, if these numbers are even possible. 80 million times 13.5 equals just over 1 terawatt hour of energy storage. Well, what do you know? These numbers make sense. Tesla aiming for around 3 terawatt hours of battery output per year at the end of this decade, give or take. We've got 1 terawatt hour for automotive and 1 terawatt hour for battery storage. But wait a minute. What happens to the other terawatt hour? We'll come back to that in a moment. First, let's talk about the potential profit on Tesla's battery business. Today, Tesla's Powerwall priced at around $8,000 per unit in US dollars. I'm going to assume toward the end of the decade, this price has fallen closer to $6,000. We'll round it down to $6,000 per Powerwall. Remember, this is divided between Powerwall and Megapack, but just to keep the numbers nice and simple, $6,000 times 80 million units for a total revenue of $480 billion. I'm going to assume a 25% profit margin. That adds another $120 billion of profit from Tesla's energy hardware business. So we had $125 billion annual profit just from automotive. In addition, another $120 billion profit from Tesla's energy storage products. This doesn't include any software, no full self-driving, no Tesla insurance, no Tesla energy software revenue either. This is just hardware being sold, vehicles and energy storage products, the core of Tesla's business today. But as we know, Tesla is transforming into a software and artificial intelligence company. So let's have a look at the potential software revenue and profits for Tesla in 2031. So remember that total fleet size we talked about, 115 million Teslas on roads in total at the end of 2031. Remember, Tesla isn't just going to be selling 20 million vehicles per year and that's it. They'll have been selling vehicles every year prior to that as well. So we're actually going to round this figure down to just 100 million vehicles in total in Tesla's entire fleet at the end of the decade, just to be a little bit conservative. Now, at this point in time, I think the take rate on full self-driving is basically going to be 99.999999999%. But I'm going to be very conservative here and assume a take rate of just 80%. So we're going to cut this down to 80 million. Remember, we've already shaved this down from 115. Now we're shaving this down again 80%. I think this is so conservative, but I really want to just factor in, well, maybe they don't sell as many vehicles as I thought. Maybe it's a little bit cheaper than I thought, etc. So let's assume that there are 80 million customers paying for Tesla's full self-driving software. And I'm going to assume that at this point in time, Tesla's actually bundled Tesla insurance plus Tesla's full self-driving package in the one monthly fee, $250 per month. So 80 million times $250 times 12 months per year equals $240 billion of almost pure profit revenue. So at this point in time, we're at about $500 billion in total profit per year from Tesla, just from automotive sales, energy storage products, plus full self-driving and insurance revenue. That's it. So even if you use a conservative 20 times multiple on this, we're talking about a $10 trillion market cap in 2031. That is a 14 times increase from where we are today. A 14 times increase in the price of Tesla stock, Tesla's market cap. That would put Tesla's stock at about $10,000 per share, assuming they don't split the stock multiple times between now and then. Now, I'm sure a few of you are thinking, dude, you are so fucking high right now. Like, there's no way that's happening. But remember, Tesla has told us publicly they're aiming to grow at around 50% per year for a very extended period of time. They've also told us they're aiming for about 20 million automotive sales per year at the end of this decade. They've also told us that they believe the energy business will be about the same size as the automotive business. So we're in line with Tesla's own goals. And you might argue, well, Stephen, just because that's their goal doesn't mean they're going to get there. And I would say, you're right. They may be a little bit late, but I can guarantee you that Tesla eventually will get to these numbers either case. Honestly, if it's 2031, 2035, 2036, do I really care if my Tesla stock increases 14x from where it is today? No, I'm not in a rush to sell. In fact, I'm not planning to sell any stock ever, period. So I'm not really in a hurry. The point is, Tesla will get to these numbers at some point in time, whether it's 2031 or later, I don't really care. They will get there. Now, I admit I may sound overly optimistic to some of you watching, especially if you're not really familiar with Tesla, but I've also been extremely conservative in that at this point, so far, talking about a 14x over the next 10 years in Tesla stock, I haven't considered any of their emerging business lines whatsoever. Let's talk about some of these and their potential. Now, if you're unfamiliar with neural networks, deep learning, artificial intelligence, Tesla's approach to solving autonomy through Tesla Vision, you may not be able to play along at home with me on this one, but I'm going to state in no uncertain terms. Tesla has won the race to solve autonomy. And not just that, their lead is forever unassailable. They will have demonstrably safer autonomous software than anyone else on the planet, period. And this will not change. Now, why do I say this? Quite simple. They've got the fleet. It's growing exponentially. No one is catching them unless they can outbuild Tesla in terms of vehicles with sensors and steal all of Tesla's big brain engineers. It's not going to happen. So let's do a little thought exercise, just hypothetically. Let's say in 10, 11 years time, Tesla can prove, because they've got the numbers and the data, that you're 10 times less likely to die in a fatal accident, 10 times less likely to be permanently injured or disabled if you're in a Tesla using Tesla's autopilot software than any other car using their own autonomous software, which may still be safer than human drivers, but Tesla can prove you're 10 times less likely to die in Tesla software than the next best autonomous software. Do you think it's possible there may be a few automakers at this point in time who are trying to develop their own autonomous software and have the data to show that they're 10, 20, 30 times more likely to kill people than Tesla software, who might go, you know what, guys, you know how we're killing all those people and we're trying to get our software better, but we still keep killing like 20 times more people than Tesla software? Maybe we should just license from Tesla and stop killing all these people? I don't know. You think killing less people would be a good idea, guys? I don't know. Just asking the question. We're getting a lot of bad press because we keep killing people with our software when Tesla's software is a lot safer. What do you think? Do you reckon maybe we should talk to Tesla about licensing their full self-driving software, guys? Hello, anyone? Less killing? What do you think? In my opinion, it is inevitable that in the future, many automakers will just license Tesla's autonomous software, quit developing their own, save many lives, and just get on with trying to survive the decade without going bankrupt, rather than trying to develop autonomous software that will never, ever have a hope in catching up to where Tesla is in terms of safety. So, hypothetically, let's just imagine in a crazy scenario in 2031, there's 50 million non-Tesla vehicles actually running Tesla's autonomous software, each paying $250 a month. It's got bundled insurance as well, so you're not liable if the vehicle kills somebody, etc. 50 million vehicles times $200 per month times 12 months. Another $120 billion of pure profit for Tesla every year. That could take Tesla to a market cap of about $12.5 trillion. But hey, let's be conservative and completely ignore that inevitability. I mean, possibility. So maybe you've heard of robo-taxis. Yep, you know that thing, once you solve autonomy, the robo-taxis make your money while you sleep, that whole thing. Yep, well, I'm going to keep this one nice, short and simple. ARK Invest believe this could be up to a $12 trillion opportunity in terms of market cap by the year 2030. Let's just imagine, hypothetically, pull a number out of my ass and say that Tesla gets 25% of the ride-hail market by 2030. Just hypothetically speaking, that's another $3 trillion in market cap. And on the topic of ARK Invest, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Artificial intelligence. We know Tesla's AI Day is just around the corner, and dude, I'm so pumped. I can't wait to watch this, cover it, share my thoughts with you guys. But ARK Invest have done research suggesting that the deep learning market could be a $30 trillion opportunity by the year 2037. Let's shave that down to say around $20 trillion by the year 2031. Let's just say that Tesla's Dojo as a service, their neural network training offering, much like Amazon Web Services, the same kind of thing, very high margin business. Let's say that Tesla can capture 10% of this $20 trillion opportunity. Surprise, surprise, that's another $2 trillion in market cap. Now, I'm sure at this point in time, I have lost a few of you. You're thinking, dude, you're way too high. Just stop talking, give up. And another few of you are thinking, dude, you're actually quite conservative. Let's just recap where we're at now. First of all, here's the things that I haven't included in any of these numbers. No new products, no HVAC. Average selling price of a HVAC in the US is about $9,500. Tesla could easily be selling tens of millions of these in 2031 as well. But hey, let's ignore that. Let's also completely ignore the potential for Tesla to be supplying batteries to other companies. Remember, we're at 2 terawatt hours of total battery output by 2031. Tesla aiming for up to 3 terawatt hours. So there could be a potential third there just in the battery business that we're not even factoring in. That alone could be another $50+ billion revenue stream per year. We're completely ignoring the potential of Tesla making their own aircraft or supplying parts, e.g. batteries and motors to the aircraft business. And we are completely ignoring any potential energy revenue from Tesla's energy software. Given the speculation around Tesla's AI Day, we're also completely ignoring any potential revenue from robots and these kind of things in the future. Basically, all we're doing is looking at what's available today, what has Tesla already told us they're doing or planning to do today, and projecting that out. Of course, Tesla continues to innovate. Who knows what other products, business lines, and revenue streams Tesla will have in the future. The point is, there's a lot that we're not even considering. So let's tally everything up in the bull case, and then we'll also talk about a base case and a bear case for Tesla's market cap and therefore Tesla's stock price in the year 2031. So Tesla's core business as we know it today, automotive sales plus full self-driving software plus energy storage products alone accounts for $10 trillion of market cap. That will put Tesla's stock at about $10,000 per share. In addition, if Tesla is to license their full self-driving software to other automakers, a fleet size around 50 million non-Tesla vehicles paying $250 per month, that is a further $2.5 trillion of market cap. Another $2,500 per share for Tesla stock in addition to the already $10,000 price. Then assuming that Tesla could capture around a quarter of the robotaxi revenue, we're talking about a further $3 trillion. And finally, if Tesla can capture just 10% of the AI opportunity, we're looking at a further $2 trillion of market cap. That brings us to a grand total market capitalization for Tesla in the year 2031 of $17.5 trillion. That is a 25 times increase in the price of Tesla stock from where it is today. That will put Tesla stock at approximately $17,500 per share. Now guys, I know how high I sound right now. I really do. So here's what we're going to do. That's my bull case for Tesla stock. That is my how high are you bro scenario, okay? Got it. Great. So let's talk about a base case scenario. And how do we get there? Real easy. Let's just shave 25% off this number. That takes us to around a $13 trillion market cap for Tesla stock. A mere 19 times increase from where we are today. That would put Tesla stock around $13,000 per share, assuming it doesn't get split multiple times between now and then. This would be assuming Tesla's producing around 15 million vehicles per year. They have a total fleet size of less than 80 million vehicles and only an 80% take rate on full self-driving. You guys get the drill, right? Just cut all the numbers you saw earlier down by 25%. What about a bear case? Let's say that Tesla completely misses their goal. They're only producing 10 million vehicles per year, half what they're targeting. Everything, cut it in half. Where do we end up then? A mere $8.75 trillion market cap. That would see Tesla's stock price increase around 13 times from where we are today. And just for fun, to appease the Tesla Q dum-dums who are tuning in as well, how about a train wreck scenario in which Tesla's only producing 5 million vehicles per year, 25% of my bull case. We still end up with a market cap well in excess of $4 trillion. A 6x increase from where we are today. That averages out to about 60% growth per year over the next decade. As a stock investor, 60% per year over a 10-year period, I wouldn't be complaining about that. So how much will your Tesla stock be worth in each of these scenarios? The numbers are quite simple. It'll be a little bit of fun, play along at home. Let's calculate what your stock might be worth in each of these scenarios. For the bull case, simply multiply your Tesla stock value today by 25 times. For the base case, multiply by 18 times. For the bear case, multiply by 13 times. And if you really want to, for the train wreck scenario, multiply by 6 times. So let's say you happen to have $25,000 in Tesla stock and you're extremely bullish. You think the company is really going to do well, but you're not quite as crazy as I am. So you're going to go for the base case and multiply that by 18 times. You're looking at about $450,000 of Tesla stock. Let's say you happen to be in the small number of people who's already a Teslaionaire with $1 million in Tesla stock. If you're extremely conservative, you're going to go with the train wreck scenario, multiply by 6, you're looking at around $6 million in Tesla stock. And just finally, in a truly obscene scenario, let's say you've got about $4 million in Tesla stock, and Tesla stock increases in the bull case scenario 25 times, you're looking at about $100 million in Tesla stock. What the actual f***? Now, as I said at the start of this video, I'm not here to teach you what to think, but how to think. So please use your own numbers, run through this scenario, use your own multiple, your own numbers in terms of vehicle deliveries, revenue, average selling price, profits, all these types of things. Try to get your own sense of some of the scenarios for Tesla stock going out 10 plus years into the future, just so you have a little bit more clarity on where you see the company going. And of course, you don't end up being one of those people who sells Tesla stock because they made a huge profit and then turns out to regret that for the rest of their adult life. So here's a little bit of homework for you guys and girls. Yes, that's right. I'm assigning you some homework. Let me know in the comments below. In the year 2031, based on these scenarios, the bull case, the base case, and the bear case, how much will your Tesla stock be worth? I'm Stephen Mark Ryan. This is Solving the Money Problem, and I love you all. And don't forget the BlockFi Bitcoin Rewards credit card, where you can earn 1.5% Bitcoin back on every purchase. There's a link in the description. You can also earn up to $250 in crypto bonuses when funding a new account on BlockFi, also linked below. And finally, don't forget your free stocks with WeBull and Stake, also linked in the description. These great offers also help out the channel. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And of course, if you have any ideas for future videos, let me know. I read all your comments. P.S. If you're still watching, you're awesome. If you'd like early access, exclusive videos, regular Q&As, our private Discord server and more, consider supporting the channel at patreon.com/solvingthemoneyproblem so I can keep creating content for you guys. There's a link in the description. You can now also become a member of the channel for some exclusive perks. To learn more, click the join button next to subscribe. And don't forget to check out our merch store. Either way, the best form of support is you being here and watching, so thanks again.